Here I am interviewing on my desk. Okay, so I told you I'm going to give my honest review about my studying session, and I have to say that it was a bit off and a bit on at the same time, just like as I expected it. However, the more I got into it, the better I became. But of course, I'm setting a timer always before I start any study session to make sure I get the maximum out from it, which is basically just all about my momentum that I'm making here, because of course a person can only focus for like 90 minutes and no longer than that. That's what the scientist says, or even the analytics shows. But I think some people could even go above that, but won't be able to concentrate that well as they did in that 90 minutes period or even below that. So for me, I try my very best to get the maximum out of it. However, because I neglected these habits in the past few months, or we could say last year or past few years as well, I do struggle with studying, and I was never that type of person who maybe wanted to be the best in studying, but now I feel like it's necessary for my future self to be very disciplined and diligent in this section. But I studied biology, and as you guys can see it here, it's over here. This is my biology for my exercise book, and this is the book itself. Here I am currently on the 30th curriculum, and basically I went through, let me see, 5 of them, but it's not all from today. I also spent time from yesterday on it, and there is, let me see, 2, 3, then there's 3 more that have left, 3 more materials that I have to cover overall, and it shouldn't be that big of a deal unless I get distracted by again many things, but that's not going to happen because I don't know how do they call this, but I think it could be maybe digital detox. That's how maybe some people like to call it, where you try to reduce your screen time on any kind of social medias, and I feel like it's kind of working because I could get deep into my mind whenever I'm resting, or whenever I'm just usually not alerted in anything else. I'm just trying to relax myself and not think about anything in itself. And it's a very good feeling. I wouldn't even say feeling, but state. It's a very good state to have for any people who maybe have all this kind of overthinking in their self, because I truly believe, and I'm bullish about it, that for people to just foster a thinking or just a mindset where they can control it, absolutely they do need to have those times where they're just alone and thinking in their own mind, because I learned so much through that. Because I felt like all the process, or maybe even the things I learned from social media, but there's something that I learned through actions, and it feels like now I'm pausing it and I'm just accumulating the knowledge, and I'm actually thinking about it, what I already know, and what can I maybe recall, or what is the thing that I'm good at. And it's such a beautiful thing that you can find out just by letting yourself to go with the flow, or just be by yourself and think freely, just vividly imagine something, or even just thought. It doesn't have to be an image or something like that. And it's truly amazing, and I do recommend it for everybody. But let's not get off from the topic, of course. And that's all I wanted to cover, and I will see you in the next study session. Okay, So I just finished with my eating. I was so hungry that I forgot to record it. No mind. Um, so I just done not mine, but I just done the clothes, and I forgot to record that. And never mind, I don't really mind that thing, but I should have recorded it. But no worries. The thing is that I have done them, and they are now just done and dusted. Here it is from a close view, and it's nothing special. All the parts my own. This is just the remaining ones, and that's it basically. And I'm back here again with another studying session. Basically, I just ate and I done the clothes, and all I'm trying to do is to study again. Same subject, which is biology. That is what I'm going to have tomorrow. I have to be fully prepared for that at all cost. I'm just going to have another session with it, and then I will move on to solve one of a math problem, which is my homework. But I know I say it weirdly and everything. Never mind. And as I'm checking it, I can also see that I need to study for literature and a bit English as well, just to make sure that everything's alright, that you never know what will come up at from the nowhere. And basically that's it. That's all I planned. It's like it might go out as I wanted it, but however, some checking that there's some history. Okay, that could mean some problem now. Huh. It's like I'm not that safe as I thought. No mind. Okay. I'll see you in there. Stop when you're finished, not when you're tired. This is something that really gotten into me, and it's truly something that has weight, and it carries a weight, lot of weight in itself. Just even the way you say it, because if you think about successful people, they don't really care about whenever they are tired, whenever they have the low energy, when is the perfect time, they still do it every single day, regardless of how they feel, what position they are in, where to locate, or anything that we could think about. And that's what I'm trying to pursue here as well. And yeah, so I'm just gonna show it. I'll see you there. Time had flied away once again, and now it's night. So I'll just show you some small details at the end of it. How is it looking like? And basically I'm turned off at this time, but what do they say? And my next studying session is going to be literature, and I have all the requirements over here. This is for the book. I'm going to learn hymnals. Then I'm going to move on to the exercise book. But first of all, I like to deal with the one that I'm about to finish, obviously. And it shouldn't take that long if I'm really disciplined and concentrated on just one specific thing. And yep, basically. And at the end of it, I'm going to have a workout. That workout will be consist of just will be a very basic sort of exercise, nothing special. I like to keep them very simple. I don't really like doing any fancy moves, or maybe just to try them, not to do them maybe over time, because even as I was reading it and watching it on videos, they were telling us that we should be concentrated on maybe a few exercises, few movements, and don't mix it up very often, because by doing that you more likely not achieve your goals that you want to. But for someone, of course, it could be a goal where you maybe just like to try exercises and you enjoy doing exercise. That's very unlikely. However, I'm not the kind of person who likes exercise, but I see it as a necessary element of my life. But nonetheless, I'll be starting this studying session already, and that's all I wanted to mention here. Alright, so I'm still here learning literature, and the problem is that I'm still on it and I still have to learn it. But what I realized that I might have enhanced my learning ability and just the skill itself to recall things way more efficiently. But I feel like there's still a lot to improve and a lot way to go, and I'm still slow, and what I need to get together is my speed, because it really takes my time, like for the whole day, when I came back home, this is all I have been doing. And we could talk about maybe just eating or just, recharging, resting. Of course, I did all of them. But the main part is that this was my whole day here at home, studying literature, trying to get a good grade, trying to improve my recalling ability. And what I realized that I'm not fast enough, and I was never in these particular subjects or topics or anything like that. And it kind of makes me drive crazy, because I do going to need these skills in life if it comes to anything. Because if I learn the ability to learn anything, but literally everything, so fast and easily, without maybe even taking a sweat, then I will be unstoppable. And by being unstoppable and getting power from all these sources, I could climb up to the high echelons. And that's what I wanted to give you. That's my honest review about literature. And soon after, I'm going to go to history. I also spend some time there because our common exam is coming for the whole material that we went through this year. And it's not something that could be done maybe in under 3 or 4 days. And I really need to be consistent in this one. And just remember the main part of them, because that's also a thing and a stuff that I realize I really need to focus on, is not to memorize everything 100%. It's just to write it over and not really focus on the specific words that were mentioned in my exercise book, but to have the ability and the skill to just overwrite it. And because you understand it, you want to write it on your own, and not to copy somebody else, and not to try to imitate them. So that's the plan that I'm trying to confirm and to affirm nowadays. And this was just something that I realized this day, because I was always trying to aim for the perfection, and it never went out because I just couldn't get along with the small ones. And that was the main problem for me, to write these things. That's what I really need to fix, and it will be like that. That's all I wanted to really cover here. I'll see you in the next one, obviously, and just keep on going, don't stop the video. Alright, so I finally managed to finish with the literature. It did take me quite a long time, and just my last mentioning about it is that it's really hard to concentrate on something that you don't really care about, and you hadn't learned that much in the past, and you just basically don't see the meaning of it. That's the reason why I don't care about it, so it's really hard to focus on it. However, I'm through it, and my lesson is history that I'm going to focus on now. And of course, before that, I must eat, because the last time I actually ate the food was around maybe 1 p.m. something, somewhere around there. So I really need to get back myself and have some, let's say this is my dinner, and let's have some dinner. And I will also record that, just the sake of it. Why not?